Remember that movie where the girl lied about losing her V card to impress her friend and it ended up getting around the entire school and she let people pay her to say she was hooking up with them and it ruined her reputation? Well, let's get into Easy A. We start out meeting typical high school girl Olive, played by Emma Stone, and her bestest Rhiannon, played by Ali Melashaka, when Olive tells her that she can't go on a weekend camping trip with her family because she has a hot date. When she got back to school, she told Reed that she wasn't going to see the guy anymore, and Reed assumes that it's because Olive did the deed with him.
Okay, wait. So, are you going to see him again?
Whisking her off to the bathroom, Reed asks for details about Olive's weekend. Not wanting to disappoint Rhiannon and get herself a little bit of attention, she lied and told Reed that she in fact did lose her V card.
Fine. We did it.
Listening ears are listening, honey, when they find out that Marianne was listening to their entire conversation. The next day, when Olive gets to school, she realizes that Marianne told the entire school that she lost her virginity. In class, as the class is studying the Scarlet Letter, Marianne's maidman Nina ends up insulting Olive, and Olive returns the favor by calling her a derogatory name and ends up in detention. Once home, her detention buddy Brandon asks her for a favor to pretend to have sex with him so that people can stop bullying him for not being heterosexual. Olive tries to talk him out of it, telling him to pretend that he's been with someone, but she reluctantly does him the favor.
Thank you so much for doing this.
At the party, Olive and Brandon have a fake freak session, and Brandon is now solid with his bullies. After the party, Olive gets a call from Rhiannon, who is upset because she didn't tell her she was hooking up with Brandon. And when Olive tries to tell her that she was making it all up, Reed doesn't believe her and tells her that she believes that she's the school smut. Since Olive feels her reputation has taken a hit, she decides to dress the part, wearing bustiers with a red A sewn into it, like the book they're reading in class, The Scarlet Letter. Since she did the favor for Brandon, we get a montage of Olive meeting up with various guys, paying her with gift cards and gift certificates to say that they are hooking up with her.
I got $50 from TJ Maxx so that Eric Link could say we got it on during chemistry. $90 from Panda Express so Brian Dukes could tell people I showed him mine, but he did not show me.
Olive eventually meets with the guidance counselor to open up about the impact that the lying has had on her life. But surprise, surprise, the guidance counselor already has an opinion of her, and instead of being a listening ear like counselors are supposed to do, she ends up handing her a buttload of contraceptives. Leaving the counselor's office, Olive bumps into Marianne and tells her that her boyfriend Micah is out sick for the day, and they become friends. But not so fast. Micah is actually in the hospital with a clap and tells his mom he got it from Olive.
Olive Penderghast!
Marianne's mom calls her and tells her that her boyfriend got the clap from Olive. Their friendship is over, and Marianne presents Olive with a swift slap to the face. On her way to find Marianne to figure out what the hell done happened, she goes into the guidance counselor, who is disheveled and a mess. While Olive is trying to figure out what's happening, the guidance counselor tells her that Micah has the clap and he got it from her, but told his parents he got it from Olive. I don't know why Olive put herself on the line for someone who was supposed to help her but instead judge her, but she tells the counselor that Micah can tell people that she gave him the clap since she was getting around the school anyway. The Christian group at the school starts to smut shame Olive, including Rhiannon, as she is now a part of Marianne's clique. Olive, now a social outcast, having lost her reputation, friends, and somewhat her dignity, finally gets asked out on a real date, or so she thought. Gets awkward when Olive sees Rhiannon at the restaurant and she feels bad and leaves because she's on a date with a guy Rhiannon likes. They leave the restaurant and the guy, thinking Olive is actually getting busy for money, decides to force himself on her and she shoves him off of her. Now, out of the reach of the creep, she runs into Todd, who happens to work at the restaurant, and he gives her a ride home. As they're talking, Olive realizes that there are really decent people in the world and she didn't have to lie for all those people, and decides to try to get one of the people she helped to help her by telling the truth. She goes to everybody, and I mean everybody she helped, but they all turn her down, citing that their lives are better now since she let them lie on her. Olive eventually ends up at the guidance counselor, and the counselor tells Olive that it's her fault and she should have never said that she would help her in the first place. In a panic,
Your wife has chlamydia and she's sleeping with a student and she gave it to him and she's trying to blame me.
now I know Olive was feeling guilty and everything, but I say that's what the counselor gets for confiding in a student and having them take the fall for her instead of taking accountability for her actions. Since no one will help Olive, she creates a plan to get everyone online to watch her and even gets the big dance number she wanted. With everyone online, she tells the story of what really happened and everything comes back full circle. Todd comes to pick her up and they ride off into the sunset, and that's the end of the movie. I think Emma Stone did a great job. I think the movie is quirky and the message is very clear. Don't lie. Don't help people lie about getting busy because it can ruin you, especially in high school. Sex is overrated anyway, but this movie provides us with a great story that's centered around it and the high school dynamic of it. Olive just thought that she was a regular girl, but didn't know how powerful she was since she had the ability to transform people's lives pretty much overnight. Also thought Brandon was so wrong for not coming back to help her when she needed him the most, and she was the reason he stopped getting bullied in the first place, and then he ended up coming out anyway. So basically everything that Olive did was for nothing. The guidance counselor was a straight bitch, and I'm glad she lost her job and her husband with her burning ass. Thank you guys for watching. Comment down below, let me know what you think. If you think that Easy A was a great movie, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video.